Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to the 43rd episode of the DrunkFriend podcast. As always, we're your host. I'm Travis, a.k.a. Ness Friend. That's Alex, a.k.a. Sness Drunk. We got a big guest coming up I'm pretty excited about. I gushed the whole time. It's really awkward. But before that, we'll talk about other things. So, Alex, how have you been doing? You sound like you're feeling pretty good tonight. I know you're hungry.
I'm starving. I need some freaking food.
Why don't you
Where's
feed
the
yourself?
food? I thought this podcast came with a caterer.
No,
or
it's
something
just
like that.
it's just drinks here. We just drink. I've told you this.
Our sheet says Hudson Caravan Shooters, but that's you.
Oh yeah.
Those are...
Yeah, you're trying to push the show along. Very good job.
No. That's just what you have been talking about and what you have been doing.
Oh yeah,
lately.
Yeah, we'll put out a little video about 3 shoot 'em ups on the
Star
NES.
Soldier.
Yeah,
All anybody cares about is Star Soldier.
I guess they do. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's Star Force, Star Soldier, and Hector something with
Hector Blanco.
Hector Blanco from the Chicago Cubs, 1991.
I found out his name is actually not Hector. I think it's hang on, let me.
Oh, you gave me a fake baseball player. Now I'll never trust you again.
Here I am like, oh, watch this guy not make a baseball joke on his. Oh, Hector Camacho. That's
okay.
who I was thinking.
That's
of.
a better one. Anyway, it's not even called that. It's called Starship Hector, and those three shoot 'em ups all together they're linked together because they're Hudson shooters that were in a caravan tournament at some point. I just needed a way to link them up because I didn't want to do individual videos on them, but they're all okay. They're, you shoot stuff, you're in a spaceship, you've been there, you shoot shapes. That's it.
Henry Blanco, that's his name.
We're doing this.
Henry Blanco was the backup catcher for the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
For the Twins for like 1 year, which is why I remember him.
What year
the
was
Cubs? It? Oh, geez. 2004.
Oh, I thought this was going to be an old-timey reference from you.
No, this is way back when.
Okay. Still 20 years ago, but still. Well, yeah. So anyway, those are the ones. Those are the games that I covered. And I'm sure everyone was real impressed with that. They said, wow, 3 shoot 'em ups in one video? What is going on? But I did it. I was brave. I did it.
I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you would do more list videos. Do you have more list videos that you plan on, say, hey, Ness Friend, let's do every football game for NES. Is that in your arsenal? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, one day.
Eventually?
Yeah, eventually.
One day? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any list videos where I'm like 10 games that'll wet your whistle. I don't have anything like that. But I might do here's some football games that, here's all the because I did that with wrestling. I said, here's all the pro endorsed wrestling stuff. Here's all the other wrestling stuff. Covered all those. I'll do golf. I'll do all the sports stuff. I'll lump all that together at some point when I get to it. I've been kind of sad that real sports have been sort of delegitimized through COVID. So I just don't have it in me right now. But we'll get back to it. We'll do it.
That's true. That's a good point. But that's kind of why, people are turning towards video games for that reason.
I suppose.
But I suppose so.
I do what I want. But yeah.
I do what I want. You can't tell me what to do. Yeah, I did Arcade Compilation Part 6. And what's fun about, it's funny, Trav, that you talk about oh yeah, SNES Drunk, here's this guy who plans ahead and does all these things that are things that plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would have planned that sentence better. Yeah.
This guy over here, and I'm really enjoying not planning anything.
You're in that phase of your career where you're reckless. You're just doing lines of cocaine, shooting out videos.
The phase of my career. What am I, Michael Jordan?
Yeah,
Come
on. You're Motley Crueing it, man. You're reckless out there. You've got. Yeah, it's just insane because you started out.
Phase of my career.
Phase of your YouTube career. You started out. You're very responsible. You were putting a lot of thought into it, and now it's just. I got stacks of arcade games. I'm just slinging them out, just writing about them, slinging it.
I just love oh, this game is awesome. This game is awesome. The thing is honest to God, like I can't. When I come across a game, it's like I can't make this a 4-minute video. I can't. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
It would end up being me just like making dumb jokes for a minute, and that wouldn't work. So yeah. So otherwise, that's you're pretty much right on. Yeah.
So the arcade compilation, I really enjoyed it. I like those because I am not an arcade. It's a huge blind spot for me. If it didn't get ported to the NES, I probably don't know about it.
It's a blind spot for me too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing them.
Oh, that's great.
Because I love this stuff. It's so freaking cool because now that, that's why I get all sorts of comments saying like, oh, you title these videos, blah, blah, blah. What's the common complaint? You can't port these to Super Nintendo, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't care. Like, that's the point is that I missed out on these when I was a kid.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm a little too young to have been real involved with the arcade, I'll say, boom that occurred. I was just a little too young for that. I was probably alive during it, but I mean, I probably was way too small to reach the controls when they were hot and heavy. And so, it's a huge blind spot. And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. I always get a lot of cool recommendations out of those. Like, what was that one called? Hot Dog Water 4 or something? What was that called? Super Hot Dog Man?
No, you're thinking of the Limp Bizkit album.
I'm always.
It was called always. Yeah, clearly. No, it was called Hot Dog Show, something like that.
That doesn't sound right.
But yeah.
But it's fun. It had hot dog in the name. I mean, that's great.
It had hot dog in the name and it had hot dog in the title screen.
Gotta love it.
Which I got a big what do you call it? Backlash about. It's like, oh, it's hot dog because it's pilots doing hot dog moves and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, no, it's hot dog because it literally has a hot dog in the title screen. It has a freaking hot dog with mustard and ketchup and relish right there.
Which is a good dog. That's a pretty good tasting dog right there.
Oh, yeah. Especially if it has the what used to be called the Miller Park Milwaukee special sauce. Excellent stuff, by the way.
What? I hate to ask, but what was the special?
I don't
sauce?
know.
Oh,
I think there was mayonnaise in it.
Okay,
mayonnaise.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, good video.
You don't like mayo?
We don't have to do this again. But yeah, it's
Come on! No, we're doing this.
I like it a little bit. I don't like if I can see it. There's too much of it. That's my feelings toward mayo.
You know what? I agree with you on that. It's a good point, actually. If you see it, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I like that. It should be just sparingly used. Same with mustard. Same with anything. Same with any condiment.
Yeah.
Same with tomato.
Yeah, relax on that. That's what I say. I say
relax. That's what Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm with you on that.
I knew you would be. Okay. We're going into emails. We got one from Michelle Petey. We might know her from another podcast on the network, Petey's Power Hour. You should listen to it if you haven't. She asks, she says, hello, drunk friends. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a couple questions for you. Number one, what have you been drinking lately? Huh?
Who's this person? Michelle? Petey?
Michelle, maybe? I'm not sure how you say that.
Michelle?
Michelle? I'm not sure.
Hi, Michelle. You're wonderful. You're the best. 100% honest. This might turn some people off, but I've been drinking Buffalo Trace whiskey lately because it's so freaking good.
By lately, do you mean like right now?
Oh, right now, yeah. I could, but lately, yeah. Buffalo Trace is amazing. It's so freaking smooth and wonderful. And
Petey, I haven't been drinking lately.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You losing weight?
I wish. I'm saving money because I'm not.
Are you though? Why aren't you drinking? Are you? Do you have a goal in mind?
No,
Nothing?
I just kind of stopped. It's weird. Yeah,
you just stopped.
Yeah, just kind of.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I'm not like against it. I just haven't done it, and then I was like, wow, I don't have to do it, and then I just haven't been.
Fuck drinking. All these people are all they're drinking. Fuck this.
Yeah, I've been drinking water. I mean, it's not like I gave up on swallowing. She also asks, did you guys ever dabble into the dangerous world of Game Genie / Game Shark
I
or
love this question.
whatever cheating-based system was available? I had a Game Shark for my PS1, and I am not ashamed to admit I used it on occasion, specifically towards the end of Xenogears. I couldn't beat a boss, and the game wouldn't allow me to leave the area to go level up. I was stuck. 70 hours into the game, and after trying 20 times, I gave in. Have you guys ever cheated? Thanks, guys. As always, love the show. Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for that wonderful pair of questions.
Thank you, Michelle. That's such a good question. I love that question because I was one of those kids that was just like, oh, you use Game Genie, you use Game Shark. You know, I was one of those snobby kids
I could see
that
it.
was, yeah.
Drinking your Buffalo
Oh, do
Trace.
you?
Yeah.
Do you now? No, it's one of those things where I was super snobby. What's the meme on Twitter where it's just like, you cheated yourself? Like one of those things.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. It's just like, you know, I shouldn't have to apologize for playing video games just to have fun. You know, it's one of those things. I just want to play video games just to, you know.
Exactly. It's like you correct me if I'm wrong, but you fucking bought the game. You can do whatever you want with it. I mean, unless it's like in some like online competitive thing where like cheating actually would make somebody else's time bad.
Right.
I say cheat. You know, when we're recording footage, we're both cheating our fucking ass off. I cheat constantly. Do you know how hard an NES game is? Do you people have any idea how hard you cheat? You got to get the footage.
I'm playing fucking save states out my ass. I am save stating the shit out of every game I play.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you don't realize that, that's your fault. Like, I'm just save state.
I mean, I'll play it for a bit because I do want to get a feel for the difficulty the game dishes out. I want to know, like, oh, man, people would have had to do this with 3 lives and 1 continue.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, but after that, like, after that really small wick burns all the way down, which is about 20 minutes, we're cheating. We're cheating. I'm putting in
Yes.
Game Shark, Game Genie, whatever you got.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy. The wick burns down to a certain point. Man, I don't even know how to put it. Yeah, I think you put it perfectly.
Thank
It
you.
was the wick that burns down on the candle. Excuse me. Drinking too much here, Michelle.
Oh, we can tell. Growing up, though, I didn't cheat often because I didn't have the game.
Oh, you're going back to the game thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to answer this email that we got. Yeah. I didn't have a Game Genie or Game Shark growing up, but you know what I used to do? I used to go into we had a grocery store. It was the only place where they sold gaming magazines in my town. And I knew my dad wouldn't buy me the tips and tricks magazines. So I'd have to sit there and memorize the code so I could go home and enter it. And I remember there were several
Wow.
Yeah.
So you would memorize it there in the store?
Yeah, I'd have to, but I couldn't memorize many.
my
There were only a
God.
couple. So I mean, I guess I could have I didn't want to like look sketchy and just bring in a piece of notebook paper and just copy them all down. Like go over to the nacho aisle and just copy them all down. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to look. I don't know what they would have done. Probably just told me not to do that.
Nice.
But I remember
it'd just be some 18-year-old being like, "Can you not do that, please? Thank you."
Yeah, or like probably nobody would have done shit. But I was a wiener kid and didn't know. But I do remember several times like having to memorize a set of PlayStation buttons all the way home. And I'd just be like, square, triangle, left one, right one, left one, right one, R2. And then I'd get in the car and my dad would be like, he'd be talking to me like, Dad, shut up, I'm trying to remember a code. And I would say 8% of the time when I got home, they would work. Because I had remembered it completely. Most of the time, I didn't even get out of the store with the right code.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's such a great story.
Yeah, I
love
guess.
it.
All right, well, we have another email from a guy who I refuse to call by his actual name.
Well, let me say it then. It's Robert Auguste de Meyer.
That's how he wrote it this time.
He says, "Howdy, drunk friends. I just started listening to episode 40, but I had to immediately say how much I appreciate you both acknowledge that Metallica sold out with the Black Album. Yeah! Ooh! Ah!
Very good, Alex. Love to hear it. Less each time you do it, but overall, I love it. Also, I know people say that as like they are mad at Metallica for that, but I still like the Black Album a lot.
Oh, I love that. Dude, the Black Album is the only Metallica album on my phone right now that syncs up with my car.
You put albums on your
when
phone?
I go someplace, and
Wait, hold on. Wait, you put albums on your phone? Like, what is this, 2011? What are you doing? You don't have
Yeah, that's what
Spotify or like
No.
what?
What I do is I put a bunch of shit on my phone as MP3s, and then
What's an MP3? What is
yeah.
What are you listening to music on your Super Nintendo? What are you doing?
Yeah, I pretty much, yeah. I just, I listen to music, on my phone, MP3 style, and there it is.
Wait, do you not know that Metallica had music after the Black Album? Like you just
I hope not.
I have some cassettes and some MP3s ready to go.
Cassettes.
That's all I need. They stopped making music in 1992.
Oh man, cassettes were the best. No, load and reload were unfortunate. The 90s were unfortunate, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah.
No, I loved the thing is that when it comes to the Black Album, that's where Hetfield became Hetfield. That's where Hetfield became a meme, basically.
True.
Where he was just like, yeah. It was absurd. He became a meme with like load and reload, and it's just like, stop it, guy.
You know what's funny though? Our guest coming up today.
Yeah.
People say that he looks a lot like James Hetfield. So this is
Oh, he's a Hetfield guy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
so this is fitting. This is surprisingly in context. So very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
But we have more of this email. We could maybe get past.
He officially pronounces his name Auguste.
You're welcome, Robert.
You're welcome, Robert. Yes. Thanks for answering the sports game question. Yeah. Trav's patience is legendary, and it's great to hear it was rewarded with such fond memories. You really are patient and legendary.
I mean, you can tell from this podcast how patient I am.
Yeah. Console Wars did do NBA Jam, and the biggest difference is that Genesis has crappy music during the game. Good episode. Boom shakalaka, Robert Auguste de Meyer.
Love the energy right now from you specifically, but also I felt like you really encapsulated what Robert brought.
I'm gonna cut you off. Yeah.
You sure did.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you though, is it common for the Genesis to have crappier music?
Yes.
Really?
Because it's FM. Yeah, because it's they have to recreate it on FM synthesis as opposed to recreating samples.
But okay, so it sounds the quality is worse, but not always like the beats, not always the melody, right?
No, it's a different system entirely.
Okay.
Like when you do Genesis, it's FM, it's synthesis, whereas you're synthesizing something that you're creating music entirely from something that doesn't exist. You're recreating something. Whereas with the Super Nintendo, you're playing samples. So
right.
It's
Okay.
different It's two completely different things.
Interesting.
I'm going to get a lot of mad people saying like, "Yeah, actually, it's not that simple." But whatever,
I'm
I
sure.
don't give a
But you know
shit.
what we could do? We could bring Coolor on as our resident spokesperson for.
Oh man, Cooler's my guy. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, and he
people
would
in the
destroy
world.
all those well actually. So I'm not worried about those people.
Actually,
He actually might be the one to well actually us, to be honest. But I think
I
we
hope
we
so.
have him on our side. We're safe.
meanwhile, we have another email from another fellow named Alex. I'm sorry for your name, Alex.
Yeah.
But he says, "Hey y'all," which means he might be from your part of the country, y'all.
Oh, hey there, fellow friend.
He says, "Love the podcast. Have been listening since you started. Really love the variety of guests and finding out about new stuff I wouldn't have otherwise heard about. I have a question about playing on original hardware decades later. I know a lot of SNES Drunk's videos recommended to play games, quote unquote, any way you can. Wink, wink. But there's something about collecting actual carts and playing on a real SNES that can't be beat. I totally agree with you.
Amen.
I just got my 200th cart for the system.
All right.
Congratulations, 200.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. And it's been a mixed bag. They all work, but some require putting a book on top of them or some other crazy tool to make the pins connect. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Do either of you have strategies for a collector to keep stuff working well past when it was intended to work? How can I make sure my Bill Lambiers combat basketball is something I can pass down to my grandkids? Thanks, Alex. Well, the first thing you do with Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball is launch it into the sun. You find more copies of it, and then you just keep launching copies into the sun.
I got you now. Yeah.
So there you go.
I like that. Yeah. As far as
because it's trash. Am I getting that across? Because it's trash.
I was getting the sense that maybe you just don't like that game by giving it to the sun.
Because it's trash.
Because it's trash. Right. I felt like I was picking up on that a little bit. Yeah. So, but the sun will enjoy it. Also, I don't have any strategies other than just. I mean, I try not to buy things that are too cruddy, but also like I don't mind a little character on my cards. I don't mind if it's got Aaron's name Sharpied on it. That's fine. That's cool. I wish Aaron's mom hadn't done that, but I have his cart now. It's got Sharpie on it. I could remove that Sharpie, or I could let it have a little character. I can let the stickers have a little bit of a ding on it. Maybe there's a Blockbuster sticker that you can't peel off because you don't have a flamethrower strong enough to melt the adhesive they used. But in terms of
that's one of those things, where they use rubber cement.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's insane.
Oh my God, it's insane what they use to like ironclad those stickers on.
But that's just the shell. Like in terms of the pins and stuff, I just gotta hope for the best. I mean, I keep all of my stuff in sort of a. It's not really temperature controlled, but I do have a dehumidifier because it's in my basement, and I know that. Humidity and that kind of stuff, especially, I'm sort of a neighbor to the south out here. So that's pretty common. So, that's one thing that I do in my game room to make sure my stuff doesn't get all weird and rusted out and all that. But I really just got to hope for the best. I think that's true for most of us. We just got to be gentle and don't drop it in mud.
Drop in mud.
Just don't do it.
What kind of mud piles you walking around in?
I'm just saying. Just don't do it.
But yeah, that's me too, where I'm one of those weirdos. I test out my carts every year.
Wait, all of them?
There's a few where I'm super particular about. Secret of Mana is one of them because that was my brother's favorite game, and he bought it when he was like 18, 19. So when I put that game in, I need to make sure his save state is still there so I can take a picture of the TV and I can send it to him on text once a year and be like, hey, your save state's still here. And he appreciaes that. And I love my brother to death for that. He's one of those guys that's just like, why the hell do you do that?
Right.
I don't freaking care. He does not care at all, but he's my brother, so I have to do that. And
of course,
he's my favorite person in the world, so I have to do that to him. There's that, and then there's also just the good old fashioned, gosh, what is that stuff called? You just get it at freaking Walgreens. It's that alcohol stuff. You just stick a Q-tip in it.
Trying to think about you're just trying to say alcohol, I think. Rubbing alcohol?
No, don't use rubbing alcohol.
Isopropyl? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
No, it's that stuff you go to Walgreens for, and it's you just stick a Q-tip in it, and you just rub it on the pins of each console, and there it is, and it's done, and your life is better because I don't know.
I really don't know what you're talking about, but I hope so it's at Walgreens.
No, you just rub the pins on cartridges.
You rub the pins on cartridges, and then what?
Then they're better.
Oh, okay. You just rub them.
They're clean.
Okay. But with what? What's the chemical?
I don't know. I have to put my headphones off and go look.
Oh, don't do that.
It's like iso something.
I said isopropyl.
Alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol?
Isopropyl alcohol, yes.
Jeez, is that what you're drinking tonight?
Yes. By the gallon.
Well, that explains everything that we've just talked about.
Give me just a second. Seriously, I need to go see what this is because you're making me feel like a crazy person, Trav, and you're really good at doing that. So let me go see what this is,
okay,
and I'll be right back.
All right. Driving a big old truck, pedal to the metal, hope I don't run out of luck. Keep these wheels a-rolling until the break of dawn, 'cause I'm driving a truck with my high heels on. Driving a big old truck.
Oh, that's what
Boy, I hope he comes back soon. see. Oh,
Even Pearl's like, oh, it's rubbing alcohol, and I'm an idiot. So it's isopropyl alcohol, 70%. You get it at Kroger. You get it at any stupid thing.
huh. Would have never guessed. Would have never guessed that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Use that on your. You just dip a Q-tip in it, and just it works with my NES cartridges. It worked wonders on my Tecmo Super Bowl.
Nice.
That was the biggest pain in the ass cartridge for me to get to work forever. But after I used this on it, it hasn't failed on me. Like, it's been perfect.
You know what?
So,
we're going to get some people. We're going to get the well actuallys in there.
Well, actually,
that will tell us that the 70% is not good because there's too much water and it's going to make it rough. People are going to say that. Now, I still use the 70 on occasion. In fact, that's all I use. I don't even know why I said on occasion. It's 100% what I use. There's also a 99%. But you know what? That shit's expensive. It's like fucking a lot per bottle. But I think you're fine. You're fine with the 70%. I'm going to say that. I'll accept a well actually. We have a guest coming up, and he's one of my favorite people. I think he's really fucking hilarious. He's a cartoon animator, a writer, a comedian, a talented voice actor. He plays a ton of video games as his job. He's produced multiple gaming-themed web series, including, you might be familiar with Battlefield Friends. You might be familiar with Mob Squad, which is based on Minecraft. And he's also a contributor to the ever-popular comedy Let's Play channel Neebs Gaming. So stick around for JonnyEthco. Johnny, thanks so much for taking the time to hang out with us tonight. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Do you prefer John, Johnny, Ethco, Absro? What do people call you?
Jonathan.
Man, I messed up. I have so many names, don't I? John's fine.
John is fine. Great. Good to know. Yeah, and that's a good point. Your work is scattered all around the internet. You're a hard guy to track down. I find you on a new YouTube channel all the time. Some of them you might even want to be aware of to cease and desist, but I find your work everywhere. You have your own channel, obviously, the JonnyEthco channel. Some of your stuff's on Hank and Jed. You got the Neebs Gaming channel, possibly others. So maybe, I know it's a broad question out of the gate, but can you describe some of those things and like your contributions and affiliations to each to give us sort of a idea of what all you do?
Yeah, sure. So JonnyEthco was the channel I started on YouTube. That was been 2008, somewhere in there, and that's where I created some old short cartoons back in the day, Prostitute Mickey, Mad Mario, and I got lucky. They did very well. And from that, there's a comedy troupe here in my town, Wilmington. I joined them because they were a group of funny guys, and that was Hank and Jed. So we started a YouTube channel there where we produced things like Duralius and Associates and other web cartoons and Battlefield Friends. And then from Battlefield Friends, we decided, hey, spinning off of this, we should start a gaming channel because that looks like something everybody's getting into, and it looks like fairly easy content. So we started a gaming channel, and that's Neebs Gaming. That's kind of a short version of it, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's crazy because that sounds like almost like a sketch comedy kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like where it's like, oh, yeah, I knew this guy from SCTV. I knew this person from Second City. I knew this person. We all met together at Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, a little
that
bit.
kind of a thing. Yeah, that's really cool. That works in other assets of life, I guess. But
yeah, the YouTube genre. Yeah, absolutely.
yes, the YouTube genre. That's what I meant. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and to dig in a little bit on the Neebs channel, I have more JonnyEthco questions.
Okay.
For Neebs, so just because I think that's maybe the more popular thing that you're a part of, right? Neebs is growing; it's huge. It's over 2 million.
That's done very well for us, and we've got an amazing community over there. And that channel just started because we were doing Battlefield Friends at the time, and then all these gaming channels were popping up. And then we're like, oh, we should start a gaming channel as a joke. And then so we started a gaming channel as a joke, and we started uploading stuff. And then pretty soon, it was getting good views, and people wanted more. And that turned into all of our full-time jobs.
That's
Wow.
the part that I get hooked on because that's really, I mean, that's like a dream come true almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure for a lot of people, but for me, it's like I think the idea of the Neebs Gaming channel, where you are using the characters in a game as a conduit for basically your sketch comedy, that's such a genius novel concept. That's like, it's almost like a no-brainer in hindsight, but it's wonderful what you guys are doing over there, because it's so dang funny, continues to be funny. They're 20-minute long episodes of these things. It's not like a 2-minute skit. These are like really well done long bits of content.
Yeah, that was our thing. We started out because we always try to push ourselves like a little above and beyond the normal. A lot of people just upload raw gameplay footage, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we just thought to ourselves, let's try to take this a step further. What if when we played a game, we had a cinematic camera? Like, we play this game called Ark, and while we're playing, we have a character detached who's just a camera that follows us around. So we're not only recording our angles, we are recording kind of like an establishing shot of whatever we're doing too. So then as we're editing footage, you have this master you can always cut to. It's sort of a blend of like old school filmmaking and playing video games. It's really weird.
It's genius, though. I mean, it works really, really well.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't say genius.
Dial it back, Trav.
Sorry, I gotta say,
we're not Einstein over at Neebs Gaming. I'll tell you that much right now.
I guess Alex is outing me here, because I'm a huge fan. I have it on the page here. There's a spot for me to just gush, because I was between Alex and I am the JonnyEthco fan. So to get that part out of the way, I'm going to do that.
Hey, come on! I love this stuff too.
I'm not saying
you
you
laugh
hate him.
out
You guys are
loud.
making me blush.
I didn't say you hate. I wasn't like, I like him, and of course Alex hates you
I
guys.
hate it. It's terrible.
No, that wasn't.
Come on.
Come on.
What
is
are
this?
we doing with this guy?
What is this
Jeez.
garbage?
So,
Garbage.
but sincerely, I'm going to do that thing that everybody hates, where I'm going to talk about that one thing you did like 10 years ago that no one can move on from, and you hate getting asked about it. Even though
know what? I'm honored, really. It's anytime anyone says I watched something of yours and I liked it, it doesn't matter to me from when it was from.
Mob Squad.
I'm happy you watched something. Oh, Mob Squad was great. We had a lot of
Yes.
fun making that show.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. So I discovered your channel about 6 years ago, and I discovered Mob Squad, and Mob Squad's really special to me because I discovered it when I was like on a work trip, and me and this other dude that I hardly knew, I don't know what, I guess we were trading off YouTube videos, but I found some of your stuff, and I was like, dude, check this out. And then he found Mob Squad, like, in the video, playlist, and we started watching that. We watched, like, all of them within, like, I don't know, 2 hours.
great.
But then we
Oh,
couldn't
you
stop
did a
quoting
binge.
it.
Oh, that's the best way to do it, when you just find it and like, I
yeah.
can watch everything.
Yeah, but we couldn't stop quoting it. Like, every conversation that we had, he was Cooper, and we couldn't even have conversations with other people because we were just these characters. But then I realized that the characters that we were portraying were mostly ones that you voiced. And that's why I was like, oh, I got to track down this Johnny guy. He's funny as hell. So then that's when I found Hank and Jed, and that's when I found Neebs Gaming shortly thereafter. But some of those characters in there, like Cooper, of course, is the creeper who is just extremely flamboyant and hilarious. And Lyle the spider, who says, "We gotta sleep." That's like my favorite line. I still say that all the time.
We have to sleep.
Yeah, we gotta sleep. So, I mean, I guess I want to ask so much about Mob Squad because that one's a special one to me. But I guess the biggest thing I want to ask is, where are these episodes? Because I can't find them on the internet anymore.
Yeah, that got wrapped up in the kind of the Machinima massacre. Sadly, I think there are still 3 episodes that exist on the JonnyEthco channel, because the way that worked, this was when Machinima was kind of big back in the day, and they were buying up content left and right, and we did a lot of work for them. But that's where we did Battlefield Friends. Mm-hmm. But Mob Squad, I did the first 3 episodes on my channel, and then at that moment I went to Machinima and I said, "This is a show I'm doing. Would you guys be interested in purchasing the show and paying me for it?" Because at that time, and this is still even true today, it was really hard to make a buck. To make a living just doing strictly animation on YouTube. Could be done, but Machinima, they were paying pretty well for content, so I was like, all right, I of course have a baby to feed, so I need to find out how I can make some scratch. So doing so they licensed the first 3 episodes, and then the rest of them they technically own. And then so when Machinima went under, that all just disappeared with it. And I think it's all owned by Warner Brothers, but then that's a gray area too, because can you own a property, Mob Squad, based on a video game that your company doesn't own to begin with? So the whole thing's a clusterfuck.
Wow. So that's like, yeah, that goes into like the arcade game stuff that I get into, where it's like, okay, here's this arcade game made by Data East that was published by some company that no longer exists, that blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes into some super gray territory. Huh. So for something like Mob Squad, though, are you writing everything? Are you writing the script and the story? Is all the actual footage of the game that you worked into animation, is that all you?
Yeah, for the season 1 for sure. I think I had help lip syncing season 1. So, but yeah, for the most part, it was me.
Sure.
But yeah, no, that was a really fun show to do, and
wow,
fairly easy compared to some of the other stuff we had done, because those characters were, they didn't have bendable arms.
Right.
I was gonna say.
Cooper didn't have any damn arms. He was easy to animate. It was like, oh, this son of a bitch is just a body and a head.
That's a good point. I didn't even consider that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's a huge favorite of mine. So thinking about some of those, maybe that and Battlefield Friends, did you do all the animations for that too? I mean,
not all of it. Battlefield Friends, because we did 6 seasons of that show, and there's a ton of episodes, and I think between them, they were animated by myself, Brent or Neebs, and one of our editors, Anthony.
Okay. So for those types of episodes where they're 3 or 4 minutes long and you're drawing and animating and writing out the sketch and doing the voiceovers and matching it to the mouths and all that stuff, how long does one of those videos take to create beginning to end?
Mob Squad, ideally I could get one done in a week and a half to 2 weeks. And it always depends, if you got a big action scene in one episode, okay, this episode's going to take a little bit longer because there's a more complicated sequence here. And then the other episodes might be, okay, this episode is more of just the characters talking in a cave. This one can be animated maybe in a week a little bit quicker. So it kind of varied, but ideally a week, 2 weeks tops.
Okay.
So are you, like, when it comes to stuff like that, do you plan for timing? Like, in other words, like, are you like, all right, well, I know I've got something coming up this week. Like, let's not do something complicated. Let's.
Oh no, that absolutely happened. Yeah, that absolutely happened. We'd be in the middle of animating an episode with a lot of action. We'd be like, okay, God, next episode we really gotta,
let's make this a Kevin Smith movie where it's just two people talking.
Right? Yeah, it's like we gotta pull it back at least for next episode, because oh my God, we're killing ourselves right here.
That's
so yeah,
crazy.
that absolutely happened, because especially with stuff like Battlefield Friends and even Mob Squad, where you have a deadline, because once you were contracted for it, and production schedule was out, and you're like, oh, we got to hit our, we got to get this out on time.
It's so interesting, yeah. And I'm a huge fan of the Mob Squad thing. That went away, but then Battlefield Friends, and then all these cartoons and these sort of seasonal things that you had done, Duralius and Associates that you guys had worked on.
Yeah.
But is there as much of that now? Because it seems like with Neebs, you're doing a lot of just the in-game stuff, and you see some animated stuff here and there, but it's not as common. Is that?
Yeah, no,
am I right about that?
Luckily, the Neebs gaming channel, like it pays really well, sadly.
Right.
And that's kind of YouTube's fault, because they value watch time more than anything. So animation's one of those things. If you see it on the channel, it's most likely we funded it ourselves, and we're lucky to break even on it. I mean, yeah. I think we have one animation, I think it's Arc in a Nutshell, that did very well, and it just broke even maybe last year.
Wow.
With like 3 million views. It's like it takes that amount of views to really break even for us on a cartoon, which sucks.
I'm not surprised.
Which sucks. But it is because that advertisement that plays 10 minutes into the video, that's worth way more than that advertisement that plays up front. Because that advertisement 10 minutes in means you've engaged this audience for 10 minutes. They're locked in, so they're more likely to watch this ad. which
Gotcha.
that's just YouTube's ecosystem. And if you're a creator on YouTube, you have to adapt to that ecosystem, especially us, because we're a group of 5 guys. It's like, all right, how do we keep employed the 5 of us plus our 3 editors?
That's the thing I was going to ask about is what was the leap like from going from, I mean, was there a leap going from just like regular 9-to-5 jobs for you personally or for anybody that works on Neebs?
Oh yeah, no, for all of us.
Yeah.
And it was staggered. I first did it with the JonnyEthco channel back in the day. So I took the plunge early.
That's the thing, the plunge. That's so appropriately put. So what was that like for you?
Oh, it's nerve-wracking because, I was working at an advertising agency at the time, editing commercial videos and doing graphics.
Yeah.
And then on the side, I was like, I'm making these dumb cartoons and uploading them to Newgrounds for fun. No plan of them to turn into a career. Yeah, you remember Newgrounds, don't you?
Of course.
But once I uploaded them to YouTube, and there was a day, and I'll never forget that day. I woke up and I checked my email, and it's just 3 pages of somebody subscribed to you, somebody subscribed to you, somebody subscribed to you.
Wow.
And I'm like, and I thought to myself, what the hell happened? And I go to YouTube, and Mad Mario, one of my cartoons, was featured on Ray William Johnson's Equals 3. You guys remember that show?
Oh wow, that's an old YouTube
Oh,
sentence.
that goes way back.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
yeah. But hey, I mean, Ray William Johnson was big back in the day.
Yeah.
And that his content was all about basically finding other content and making fun of it or talking about it. But
Oh my God.
Mad Mario got featured there, and just a flood of people just came in, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, people are watching my stuff. And then
Cool.
just kept making more of it, and then then next thing I know, I'm getting an email from Google. It's like, hey, we would like to put advertisements on your video, and you can make money. You want to do that? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, that sounds good.
Here I am just being like some guy at a 9-to-5, and now here I am on YouTube making a living.
Well, I mean, it didn't happen overnight. It's one of those things that I guess it wasn't it wasn't a decision made lightly. It was, okay, when I made this decision, I wasn't making much money at all, but I saw the potential there.
Yeah.
It was that, man, like, I'm making this amount of money not really focusing on this. If I focused on this, could I make a living doing this? And then so, it's a huge risk, because it is like, I'm going to give up my 9-to-5. I'm going to take less money for maybe 2-3 years. I don't know. And I'm going to see if I can make this work as a small business. And it's
exactly
it's
right.
a crazy decision. It is. It's like everyone looks at you like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're like, I don't know. But I'm looking at this YouTube thing, and everyone's talking about it. And this seems like a platform that's only going to grow and grow and grow. And it seems like a good position to be in. I'm just going to go for it. And if it fails, it fucking fails. And I'll go back to 9-to-5. What have I got to lose? Other than money. I might have to eat rice and beans for 2 years, 3 years, whatever, which is no big deal. It's like, you know what? I can keep my costs low. I can try to live as cheaply as I can, and I can just keep trying to make cartoons and keep trying to just get shit out there and build a brand for myself, and hopefully turn this thing into something.
You've
That's
done a
really
good job.
inspiring. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are faced with that question. Yeah.
It's scary.
Oh,
as
it's super
shit.
scary.
Yeah.
It's super scary because there's so many what ifs. It's like, yeah, what if it doesn't work out? What if it? But I guess the way I soothe myself is like, okay, worst case scenario, it doesn't work. I get another 9-to-5. So why not try?
Yeah.
It's like, what have I got to lose? Why not try? I think a lot of people are scared of that. Yeah, they're scared of trying, but like, fuck it, just do it. You know what I mean? Because why not?
It works out. In your case, certainly it has.
It doesn't work out for everybody. I got lucky. I was, and again, being featured on Ray William Johnson got that boost, and I got lucky. Right place, right time, good amount of views, and yeah. I won the lottery.
That's awesome.
It's not everybody can
awesome.
do it, but I was in early. That was 2008, 2009. So yeah, that was early YouTube.
That's awesome.
YouTube was a baby.
Super cool. It was, yeah. You look at YouTube videos back in 2009 now, it's like, what is this? Like, it's not even 720p.
I
Come
know.
on. What is this?
Everything's in 480. Gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Gross.
Yeah, you mentioned, or I asked you earlier about you've moved away from the animation and it's a business decision and that makes total sense. But I know that's your passion. I mean, I know you still have your
Well,
it's not.
well, no, you know what? I love animation. But yeah, it is. It's such a tedious. Animation's tedious as shit. My passion is more in my writing. I love writing things. I love voicing things. I love editing. I like bringing it all together. I like creating the audio for it. Animating it was just a way for me to get the story out because at the time, I was like, I went to film school at a community college. I wanted to make short films, but then when you started looking at the numbers, it's like, holy shit, to hire a camera guy, to hire a lighting guy, to hire a sound guy, that's expensive. And then once I figured out, oh, wait, I can take my dumb little drawings and bring them into After Effects and make them move. Holy shit, this is a way for me to tell a story and get my ideas out there.
Oh, okay.
So,
interesting.
the animating part, and, I wouldn't consider myself a good animator. I fucking hate, I love animation, but the process of doing it is just a grueling nightmare.
I mean, it looks like it.
But it is
imagine
one of those things, like the end product is worth it, but yeah, going like this, when you're going through it, it's like, oh God, all right, what is this phenome? What is he saying? An ah, and then an e, and then an o.
Oh, jeez.
And you're entering every damn, mouth frame by frame, and you're making everything move. And it's a fucking nightmare. It's a
I mean, it looks like it. Now that you've convinced me that it's no one's passion. I don't even know why I brought it up. But no, I wanted to ask though because the JonnyEthco channel came back to life, and you put some cartoons on there, and there hadn't been any in there for a long time. So that's why I thought maybe you were itching to get back into it a little bit more.
Yeah, every now and then I do get that itch. I'll have an idea or two, and it's like, man, I would love to animate that. Because it is fun. As much shit as I talk about the process, it is a good creative outlet. And yeah, on occasion I'll just go like, that itch will come back. I'm like, ooh, I got an idea. That'd be a fun animation. I want to do that right now. And
cool.
last year was just kind of a break for me. I did kind of revamp and revitalize the JonnyEthco channel. But myself personally, I took a break because with Hank and Jed, Neeb's Game, and Battlefield Friends, all that stuff, it's like I had been grinding for 10 years straight. So last year, it's like, all right, I'm going to take a year, and I'm just going to take a little bit of time off, work on some personal animations, get out a little bit more, and then COVID happened, and it was a disaster. But whatever, I stayed inside, I played video games, I had a good-ass last year.
Great.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
it was a personal break. It was a mental, just like, I got to slow down for my own sake for, a year and just, do some personal projects. And yeah, I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, you can tell looking at that, looking at your catalog of videos from, back in the day when you were cranking them out. I mean, it's insane to me to see like the pace that you're putting out these cartoons and thinking about all the work that went into it. So, well-deserved break.
Well, that's also, that's, we were able to put them out so fast just because of our animation style. It's kind of a tweened, kind of South Park-esque, I guess. It's not it's not your traditional frame-by-frame animation. It's,
right.
It's a lot of pieces kind of chopped up and stitched together. It's almost like a puppet show. That's kind of how I look at it. Yeah. It's like, we're creating these little rigged marionettes and we're moving them around.
That actually makes a lot of sense because there is a style to it, and I was going to ask if you had any, animation inspirations or anybody you tried to emulate when you started out or at any point.
Oh God, no. When I first started out, everybody on Newgrounds was using Flash, and I tried
Good
to
times.
I tried to
Those
use
were the
Flash
days,
back.
right?
I tried to use Flash, and I said, "Fuck this." And so I gave up on animating. I was like, I'm never going to animate anything. But then when I was in film school, a little program named After Effects popped into my lap.
Yeah.
And then when I was in After Effects, and I was like, oh, I can make images move around. And then a light bulb clicked of like, wait, I can draw something, and I can bring a drawing into this program. Oh, wait, and then I can parent eyeballs here, and holy fuck, I think I can make an animation. So I went through this crazy process in After Effects of creating and rigging characters, drawing them in Photoshop, importing them in. So it was a unique, I will say that's one thing about our style. It is unique. It's like when you see it, it's like, oh, that's that group. Like,
Yeah.
there's not. That's one thing I'm kind of thankful for. Is like, there's not a lot of stuff that looks like our stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, as far as inspiration, I mean, I Newgrounds was a huge inspiration. Just getting on Newgrounds and seeing what everybody else was making. I mean, Mad Mario was kind of a result of that. I think at the time on Newgrounds, early 2008, everybody was making Mario and Sonic cartoons, and some of the views those cartoons were getting at the time were ridiculous. And I was like, and me and my buddy Brian looked at it and was like, shit, we could make a Mario cartoon just as funny as this shit. Let's do it.
It's funny how that works, where it's just like we talk to so many people on our podcast where it's just like angry video game nerd. Like, we can do that. Like, we can do what that guy does.
Oh yeah.
We can just make dumb jokes about video games, and we can jump on YouTube and do that kind of crap that this guy does.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
It's not to say that like it's dismissive, but it's one of those things where it's just like, it just needs to be that first push that needs to happen.
Oh yeah, angry video game nerd, that was a new market. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like content about video games on the internet.
Yes,
where
exactly.
Everybody's a nerd. We all have computers. We love tech. We love video games. It was a perfect time and perfect spot for that content.
Yeah,
and he's still doing it. That's what I love, is that motherfucker is still at it.
Yeah,
like, I got a lot of respect for that guy. Yeah, it's like, you can keep up that character that long. I mean, I think he jumped away from it for a second, but then came back not too long after. But yeah,
I think it's still the same shirt he's using.
I hope
wonder
not.
If that's the same shirt.
No, it's a little bit fancier.
Oh, yeah, I hope
it
not.
is. It's a little bit fancier. If you look at his old stuff, it's like
Think it went to Kohl's.
It's the $10 collar shirt you get at Walmart. It's the cheapest shit. The one he's wearing now, actually, it's got like buttons on it. They're like metal buttons on it. It's a little bit fancier. It's got nicer pockets.
He originally got it at Target. Now he's upgraded to Walmart, Kohl's.
Yeah. Now he shops at Dillard's. He's made his money. You know what I mean?
Hey, you guys are like AVGN like historians. This is incredible.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like anybody who loved video games and was on the internet and grew up with it in that time is a AVGN historian.
Man, I remember killing time at work, like waste my time, watching, video game videos on YouTube in 2008, 2009, and man, oh man, he was everywhere. He was the only video game content that there was back then.
Yeah, he kind of he pioneered it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, who else were you gonna go watch? It was just him and what's that guy's name? Gaming nostalgia guy.
Nostalgia critic.
Nostalgia critic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's still at it too.
yeah. It was just him and AVGN. That was it. And it's just like, okay, these are my two choices for what I want to watch. And that's it. It's hysterical to look at back. That was back over 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy to think how influential that ended up being. It's like they didn't set out to be influential. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, it's I love it, like how wholesome it is. It's just a guy that's like, I grew up playing these video games, and I'm going to create this dumb character and talk about these video games I played growing up. And obviously that connected with any kid, any child of the 80s that grew up playing the same shitty games he played. And it was something that, at least I, and I guarantee thousands of other people, just related to instantly, of getting a Nintendo game or renting a Nintendo game and popping it in and starting to play it and going like, wow, this is a piece of shit. Stuff like Ninja Turtles. We're like, oh man, I can't wait to play the Ninja Turtles video game. And then you put it in and you just start cussing. It's like, he nailed it. He nailed the feeling we all had.
Yep.
He tapped into it, and he deserves every bit of success he's earned.
Yeah, indeed. And speaking of success, I did want to ask a little bit more about the Neebs channel. Boy, look at me segueing out here tonight, Alex.
Nice.
Oh, look at that segue! By God,
9 out of 10 on the segue.
Appreciate that, boys. You're derailing it a little bit, but I'm going to bring it back. Okay, so Neebs, very successful, very funny. 8 guys. There's five talents and 3.
Well, yeah, 5 of us, we started it, and then from the Battlefield Friends series, and then we have 3 editors. We have Anthony, we have Ada, and we have now our newest member, Jack.
And these people, I don't want to get too, I'm not trying to dig into the finances or anything, but these people are all paid for by the Neebs channel, and every bit of money that it brings in, it keeps these people full time.
Yep.
That's pretty incredible. And you guys have, and I think I've seen some videos of yours where maybe it's been shown off a little bit, but you do have a studio where you guys go to work every day and do.
I don't know if I'd
stuff.
call that piece of shit a studio.
There's a building somewhere in Wilmington.
There's a closet that we operate out of. We were actually last year we want to find a new office, and like last year was like we're gonna find a new office this year, and then COVID happened, and it was like well, now we're all separated. It's actually not too bad now because we're all separated, but it was a tight space when all five of us are there, and we do all five want to get back because we're trying to record our content over Discord, and there is a little bit of disconnect and there's a delay in the conversation, and there's something about being able to look at each other and feel each other's energy that doesn't exist when we're not all in the office together. But hopefully by the end of this year, hopefully in 4 or 5 months, we can all get back together and resume that. And then we'd like to find a bigger spot.
That's awesome. So I have to think, and I know that's like my mind is just exploding with sunshine and rainbows. And how fun is it to go hang out with comedians all day long and just play video games and scream into microphones as all these different characters? But is it as fun as I'm imagining, or I'm sure you're like, nah, dude, it's just a job?
No, it's like any job, it has its pros and cons. It has its ups and downs. There are, five of us, five completely different personalities. And, a lot of times when it comes to business decisions, we don't agree. Very rarely is everybody on the same page. So there's a lot of bickering, a lot of,
Do you bicker in character?
We look at each other like brothers. It's like we love each other, but we also hate each other sometimes.
Right.
And, but what our secret has always been is even, at the end of the day, we might get mad at each other, we might get pissed at each other, but at the end of the day, we still love each other to death, and we can all joke around. And
that's the important thing.
Because it's like we all do respect each other. At the end of it, even if opinions differ and ideas differ, then but that's what it takes to work together with a group of five guys trying to make decisions about a channel. You're going to run into conflict. There's no way to avoid it. Everybody's going to have different opinions.
Yeah, I was curious about that, especially for something that is like this, where it seems like there's five equal stakes in the game, so you're all sort of in control of 20% of it. And so,
Yep.
I imagine that it's a struggle sometimes, but I don't know. It just seems awesome that you found something that your talents fit into so well, because you're an incredible voice actor. All of you guys are extremely funny. I don't know how many of them have improv training, but it seems obvious that some at least do.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where they started when they were Hank and Jed, and because when I first moved to Wilmington, I would go to some of our local film festivals, and these guys,
nice.
I would always watch, like when one of their films would pop up, it would always be funny. I went to like 3 film festivals in a row, and each year when the Hank and Jed one popped up, it was always funny. I was like, and I recognized instantly, like, this group is funny together. And then so, I finally got to meet him, and I weaseled my way in there by going like, hey, I make animations. Maybe we could work together and make some cartoons. And that was kind of the birth of Duralius and Associates.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, it ended up being a really good fit.
So I kind of have a theory, kind of, but when I first discovered JonnyEthco, again, about 6 years ago, you had a quick little video from GTA 5 of Aunt Esther running down the highway looking for a ham sandwich. It's one of my favorite videos. I watch it when I'm sad.
I haven't thought about that one in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, but I had that idea, or I thought about that video because Neebs Gaming started out doing a lot of GTA 5 stuff. Or I don't know if it started out that way, but there was a hot minute.
It didn't start out that way. It evolved into it. Man, what we do I love, man, what you can do with Grand Theft Auto with the Rockstar editor. I don't know how much of our stuff that you've watched, but when we do a GTA video now, we'll play in multiplayer, and as we're playing, we're recording in the Rockstar editor. So then we go back, and then we recapture the entire episode, and we kind of turn it into a little miniature movie. It's a fun process, and that game the creativity that game allows you for shots and like compositions and everything. It's just no other game exists like that, at least in my head.
Yeah, it seems like it's a great, I don't know, platform for creating action comedy. I mean,
it's wonderful. I mean, and that world is, there's so many toys and vehicles to play with. It's endless fun in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but I noticed that on Esther's ham sandwich video came out the same month that Neebs Gaming started, and I always kind of felt like maybe that video was sort of like a proof of concept, and you were like, hey, Neebs, check out on Esther's ham sandwich. Maybe we could turn this into some comedy stuff. And I know I'm pretty wrong about that, but it just seemed like too much of a coincidence for it not to be kind of related in some way.
Yeah, I think at the time I was playing around. I was just like, I'm going to try to make something dumb in GTA, and that may have also been a symptom of just I was playing one night and just watched this happen and recorded it, and like I'm going to add a voice to this because this is stupid.
It is hilarious. I think about her and that ham sandwich all the time. It's left me with a lot of questions for 6 years, and I'm glad we got to talk about it.
There's games. There's GTA 5. There's the Just Cause series. Which was seemingly created just cause, for like Just Cause. I'm really sad to hear that like Just Cause 4 is not that stupid, but Just Cause 2 and Just Cause 3 are incredibly stupid.
I don't know. I've been playing Just Cause 4 actually recently. It was free on the it was free on the PlayStation Network a couple months ago.
Huh.
So I picked it up, and I'm just like, every now and then I'll fire it up. I think it's just as stupid as the other ones.
Where you can just like hang glide on cars as you ramp on stuff. It's so dumb.
I think
it's aggressively stupid.
I think what Just Cause 4 problem was it came out too soon after Just Cause 3, and it almost mechanically it was so similar to Just Cause 3, it almost felt like it should have been a DLC rather than a full-blown Just Cause 4.
No, okay.
I think that's where a lot of people kind of like went, I don't know if this is a really 4 material,
Makes sense.
It's not a full-blown game.
No, it should have been. It feels like Just Cause 3.5.
That's fair. Okay, great. I think I've gushed. I think I'm out of gushing. I think I've had all my questions answered.
I mean, it's a mess all over your floor.
I know.
Oh my god, dude!
I know.
It's Randy from South Park over here.
Oh, Randy from South Park. Okay, yeah.
You're gross.
I mean, totally. I got to bring up Ann Astor's ham sandwich. I got to bring up Mob Squad. Those were two big ones. But yeah, I'm excited to see what else you do. Hopefully, you keep the JonnyEthco channel going. Keep revisiting it every few months.
I hope so too. I'm a recent fan just from Trav, because Trav has been gushing about you so much lately, and I'm a fan just from his,
my energy,
him elbowing me in the face like Dusty Rhodes, and I can't help but enjoy your work from that perspective as well. So I really hope you keep the JonnyEthco channel as well.
It's not going anywhere. It exists, and in those instances where I decide, like, I have a short cartoon that maybe doesn't fit on Neebs Gaming, and it's just something I want to do, I got a place, I got a home for it.
That's right. Yep. Anytime you want to make a cartoon where all of the consoles are making fun of the Xbox, but you don't want to make your Xbox friends sad by posting it somewhere else,
please.
It's always good. It's always a good time. So yeah, thanks for joining us. I would ask you what you want to plug, but I know you might not stop talking if I asked you that, because you're everywhere on the internet. But maybe.
Oh yeah. My strategy with the internet is a shotgun strategy. Just blast yourself everywhere.
It's working.
It's the Homer Simpson makeup gun.
Right.
Strategy. Yes.
But yeah, where can people find you? And I guess what's coming up next for Neebs? If you maybe share, I don't know, something fun.
For Neebs Gaming, we're going to play Subnautica Below Zero. Our first Subnautica series did really well. We actually ended up being like a cameo in the first game because that series did so well for us. And now we're about to jump into the second Subnautica called Subnautica Below Zero. So that's coming up. And then you can find me and the other crew on Neebs Gaming, and then you can see my JonnyEthco cartoons. And I'm Hank and Jed. And that's it. I'm on Twitter. JonnyEthco on Twitter, whatever.
That makes it sound really simple compared to like all the different things I was Googling to track you down. But yeah, cool. Very cool. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
All right, everyone. That's been another Drunk Friend podcast. As always, you can reach out to us with questions.
Ooh, yeah.
Or comments at drunkfriendpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. We'll respond or read it here eventually. Sorry we're slow. Please head over to polymedianetwork.com if you want to hear more podcasts as good if not a little better, than this one, like Tales of the Lesser Medium.
Polymedia, ooh, yeah!
Thank you, James. Very good. Tales of the Lesser Medium. We got that new Half-Life series out there still cooking. If you like Half-Life,
yeah!
if you like, maybe if you don't like Half-Life, not a big deal. If you want to make fun of it, it's a pretty silly story. We do a pretty good job of ripping it apart, so please check that out. We also
Ripping it apart, yeah!
we also have the previously aforementioned Michelle, her podcast Petey's Power Hour. Please check that one out. And, of course, Polykill and IndieQuest and probably more. There's probably more that I don't even know about that we have. But we got some podcasts. Please go check them out.
If you're not interested in sending an email, no big deal. Just send us a rating and review on a podcast app of your choice, and that'll help us out big time.
Big time. Big time. You can find us all on social media. On Twitter, I'm at TravPlaysGames. Alex is, of course, at SNESDrunk. And you can find old Johnny at JonnyEthco.
And as always, the music you heard in the beginning, you can hear right now, was composed by our friend Coolor. The track you hear is called Electric Starbound, so you can find a link to more of his music, yeah, on the Buzzsprout podcast page, yeah. And a shout out to Josh Leslie for our thirst quenching logo.
This is a really good, they're getting back to their roots, it sounds like.
Brill just walked by my office like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It sounds a lot like something off Kill 'Em All. I really enjoy it. Be sure to catch us all on YouTube, and thanks for listening.
And we hope you have a great day. Yeah. That was just, it's too fun not to do James Hetfield.